Yeah.
Um, well, let's start with the fact that you and I mean, I think you and I have had several conversations, and we've been on each other's podcast to where I started seeing a bridge of a connection between the masculine and feminine voice, where I think you and I live in have two different experiences, right? Like we maybe we grew up in the same Italian cultural dynamic, but different. You being a male, right, you had a totally different route, I had a different route for how I got here. And I think it's really cool to like a lot of the stuff that we went through, like there's a lot of similarities. And I think there's a cool bridge there. I think what's needed, or what I saw that was needed right now during these times that we're in, is for the masculine and feminine to get back to being in union, in partnership, and learning how to speak each other's language. I think there's a lot of division, and you and I have talked about this. There's just a lot of division, period, going on right now. But I think
Yeah.
a big part of that is just being able to have conversations where we could start understanding each other, right? We could start feeling safe. Like, I'll speak for myself as a woman, not growing up feeling safe with the masculine, not feeling protected, not feeling safe. And so, because of that, feeling very guarded and shut down, and like, having to like kind of crawl inside a shell. And now, I'm not the only one that feels like that. There's so like literally, and I coach women, I coach men in relationship, but this is like the one of the single most important things that come up with women is not feeling safe with men. And I mean, this goes back to the, father relationship, right? The father wound. I grew up with, two brothers as well. And we just grew up in a different time where we just, women didn't feel safe. But I think we have to come back to the table and learn how to bridge that gap and communicate, and for us to be heard. And I think a lot of the times we are saying the same thing, but we're just using like different language. And I think stories and personal experience, um, people can see themselves in that, right? In our experience and our stories and what we've went through. And I think we need to be brave enough to have these conversations that matter. Like, these are the conversations that matter. And people don't want to have like real conversations. And so I think that's why you and I are here, is because we don't know where this is going, but we're willing to show up vulnerable and honest and raw and messy. And there is no perfection in this, because we're here from our heart. And so we're not here to be perfect or quote anything or whatever. But I think it's important for us to like share a little bit about ourselves. Like, who are we? How did we get here? And like, what are some of the conversations that we want to be having on here? And, hopefully build this platform to where we can start having conversations that other people want to have or want us to have, and like touch on those topics.